Tom, wake up. Wake up,
man.
Tom.
I get on this show, he's sleeping.
When Raw goes off, wake me up. Welcome to your Raw Recap Show. I am the OG Fig Kid, Thomas Montalto. J-Bone?
Oh.
Introduce
And
yourself,
I
J-Bone.
am, oh yeah, freak out. I am the Macho Man, J-Bone. And we got our
What's up,
special
Kenny?
guest.
What is going on? And I am the special guest, Kenny, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. What is going on, everyone?
Not much. How's it going tonight, guys? We could breathe a little bit. The show is over.
I know. Oh my God. I was actually getting really bored of tonight's Raw.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't even bad this week. It was just boring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just wow. That was a long. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was definitely boring. It kind of was like a pandemic Monday Night Raw, to be honest with you. Thunderdome.
It was like the starter. It was like the start of Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome crowd would have been noisier than tonight's crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was. I kind of have some like sleepy staple. I got
That's
some. So in my notes, what I would have started with was being. I would have actually started with the tag team championship match. I think that would have kind of, we've been kind of talking about that a lot, like last couple of weeks. Like, let's start off with a hot match, and they love to start off with those promos. Put that promo at the second hour, the top of the second hour, and then you can start off with the championship match. Swap those two up.
Just watch Raw. You go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I almost did.
I know. Listen, Nikki A.S.H was very emotional. You could tell her she was getting choked up in her little promo. It was a fine promo, but it shouldn't have kicked off the show.
No.
Maybe the tag team match would have been a better way, but we've seen that same match, or different versions of it for how many weeks now? That's just so tiring that they just keep giving us the same match week after week after week. They're not putting the titles on the Viking Raiders. Stop making them fight for it. Why?
Right.
Then they need something to do besides sitting and catering.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the match was okay, actually. I was actually impressed with Omos for a change.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he actually looked pretty good. And he almost looked like a superstar tonight.
No, he's getting there. Every single week he's improving. I don't know if Kevin Nash is still helping him out, or maybe they have like another veteran coming in to help him, but he's getting better every week. He's legitimately starting to look more and more like a dangerous big man.
Yeah. I do. Like I said, I like what his style. I wish he would stop smiling so much. I don't like that. Like, be this big nasty man. You never saw Diesel or Kevin Nash. You never saw him smiling. Quit smiling. That's one thing. But he's getting there. He's getting there.
Young Anthony's finally seeing the light.
Yes. Bad.
So we start with that emotional intro by Nikki, and then she gets interrupted, and it's more of the same crap with Charlotte and Reyes saying the same stuff over and over. And then what's next? Byron Saxton borrowing Vince McMahon's suit from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Did you all catch that?
Yeah.
Where did he find Vince's suit? I was cracking up at that. All we need is a Byron Saxton head. We could pop it on a Vince figure, and then we have a Byron Saxton.
What a maneuver!
Then we go on to
but the next segment, they have right. It was a good match.
Yeah, I mean, that was good, but I was distracted. Like, did something happen to his teeth that we don't know about with Damian Priest?
Damian?
Yeah, did you see?
He hadn't wrestled in a while. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he had some kind of surgery. Maybe he got the Roman Reigns treatment there.
No, he needs to fire that dentist because he was missing a tooth.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what you were alluding to. I wasn't paying attention actually. I don't know. But this is definitely his first match back in
in a
quite some
while,
time.
and it's been too long. You had a guy, he was on a roll, and he was interesting when he first came up around WrestleMania, and I can't even remember the last time we saw him on TV. So he got the win over Sheamus tonight, and I guess the theme of tonight's show is have all of our champions lose in a non-title match, even though we're not allowed to say non-title match. But hey, listen, you're not allowed to say wrestling either, so go figure it out. But I look for I hope they continue to push Priest. You know, him and Sheamus should be able to have some pretty good matches.
Good. Oh yeah,
just not again next week yet. Although I'm sure we're going to see.
I hope not.
Yeah,
Damian Priest is
formula.
Damian Priest is kind of like in that almost in that same pocket with Riddle that he sells so good. There's like little things in the match. Like for me, like what I like is, you know, if you take a big hit, like for instance that Alabama Slam that Sheamus put on him, he had his eyes closed, and then you could see like right before 3, he like woke up and was like, oh, kick out. So it was like, okay, that point made me a little bit more invested into the match. Just the little things like that really matter. And Damian Priest is there. You know, not Sheamus, excuse me. Riddle does kind of the same thing. Sheamus too is good at selling too, but Riddle kind of does that too just a little bit. So it's little things like that matter. So
yeah. So we move on back to the tag team match. The thing that bothers me with the rematch after rematch, it's the same formula every week.
Right.
It's almost beat AJ. Oh, it's close fall. Then almost comes in and he kicks ass and then AJ pins someone and it's over. Yeah. It's like, at least make it interesting. I don't know.
Well, what I'm hoping on is maybe the big guy will turn on AJ, maybe down the road somewhere. You know, if AJ kind of keeps doing that, you know, might be little remnants of some storytelling there. Right. I don't know. You know, you may end up having a Diesel Shawn Michaels situation, you know, down the road. Who knows? But that's maybe I'm pulling that out. Maybe I'm trying to give him a benefit of the doubt. So.
What's wrong with 40? What are you saying, Anthony?
And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys in their 40s that are still kicking ass.
Look at Lashley.
In this business. Exactly.
Yeah. What's his name?
Bellcaster Conrad. With the nail on his head there.
Yeah.
Leave it to Mike Bellcaster.
Right. Yeah. That definitely, and that's one thing I was definitely thinking about tonight. You know, well, who would their next challenges be? Well, obviously, it's going to probably be Riddle and Randy Orton somehow. I'd imagine they're going to probably. I would imagine maybe SummerSlam, and then maybe that's when Randy turns on Riddle, something along those lines. I don't know.
Have they said where Randy is?
Nope.
No, not really. It's been very.
It's so weird. Like he just 1 week he was there, the next week he's gone. There hasn't been any word at all where he is, not even like dirt sheet wise, and nothing. He's just like went on vacation and shut his phone off.
You know, I'm okay with it.
It's either
I'm okay
being on this show. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it. You know, it allows him to, you know, fans to forget about him in a good way, and then when he comes back, you know, then people will be maybe excited. I don't know. It
was kind of in his hometown tonight, though. They were in Kansas.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
So then we move on to Drew McIntyre and Veer, and I just say it week after week. Who cares? I'm not even.
Nobody. This is horrible.
This was terrible.
It's just boring. There's no connection to the story. End it.
We had Wish.com Mark Sterling on. You know, I just.
Oh my god! How many times are they going to use that lawyer gimmick?
I don't know. I mean, nobody can do it better than Mark Sterling.
Listen, we'll see the guy in 5 years on AEW.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, exactly.
So then we see Eva Marie and Doudrop walk into the ring, and they're trying to get the women's tag team championship. They're trying to build them way up, and
it appears that Natty was injured at the end of this match, legitimately injured anyway. It looks like.
Oh, really? If I wasn't so bored, I might have noticed it.
Yeah, she was hobbling all the way. Looked like a doctor was trying to help her out, and Tamina scooted out and also kind of helped her out real quick after the match, but
that's interesting.
And yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, it looks like she's injured. I don't know how severe it is, but we shall see.
In all seriousness, I hope she's not injured bad. You don't like to see the people get hurt when they're out there entertaining us.
Mm-hmm.
But Alexa Bliss winds up costing Doudrop and Eva Marie the match. I'm so tired of this.
That was the best part of this match, was to have the Lily segment. Lily Lucian, that was like the best part of like the whole entire match. Besides that's just freaking Mark is like so boring.
This confused me because Tamina and Natty are heels, but then you have Eva and Doudrop, I guess, are heels or whatever, and then you supposedly have Alexa as a heel. It's like
it was just all these heels and mixed in one storyline.
What are we doing here?
Sounds like WWE booking, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think I could have booked better in 7th grade Fig Fed.
I could book the show better. I've said it on a debate show. Hire me, WWE. I'll fix the show in a month. I'll have the ratings up and make the stories interesting. Because this is just terrible.
Yeah.
So we go on to Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross because Jeff Hardy has COVID. I hope he gets better soon. It was supposed to be a Jeff Hardy Karrion Kross rematch tonight, but that didn't happen. And Keith Lee comes out to absolutely no pop whatsoever.
But it was both of them, though.
Yeah, it was both of them.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like the crowd was even lost with Kross last week. Like, I feel like they feel confused when he's coming out. Like, they don't really know. This crowd doesn't know who he is. He doesn't have Scarlett with him.
This was the worst possible match for each person in this match, honestly. Obviously, we had talked about it last week. Keith Lee, I don't know what's happening, with that. It's kind of strange. I can kind of see, I guess, Karrion was supposed to have some type of storyline. I still don't approve of the storyline. I still think it's stupid to have your NXT champion lose. But regardless if Scarlett is supposed to give him special powers, like I mentioned last week, all that is you're making a Mark Mero and a Sable. That. It's ridiculous. And then this week you have Karrion win, which honestly, this would have not done good for anybody here.
No.
If Karrion would have lost, it would still make him look bad. If he would have won, it would make him still look bad from last week. Keith Lee would have won. Same thing. It just was a lose-lose situation. It's just horrible.
What do you think about that match? Because Anthony's saying it was dope, and I'm wondering if he's a dope because I don't like the match.
I don't. The crowd wasn't even into it tonight at all. Like, it just looked like literally. What's sad about it is you have 2 stars, and everybody looked like they wanted to go to the bathroom.
Exactly, 100%. It was sad for those 2 guys, And you got to see, what is Vince saying in the back?
He loves it.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, he probably does. Damn it, we can't use these guys.
That's good shit.
Okay. I lost my place in my notes, which feels like I felt watching Raw all night.
Yeah. I think the next.
Here's what Corey Graves said. I wrote down what Corey Graves said during this match. He goes, Keith Lee does a lot of things you're not supposed to be able to do, and he does, but we haven't seen them on Raw. I'd like to start seeing him on Raw because this guy is talented, and he could get people excited if they just start using him right.
And I know this is me being a Marky Mark here, but I didn't like how, which I am a Marky Mark, but I didn't like how he tapped out to the finish.
Yeah, I
didn't look weak.
No, you don't have guys that are up and coming.
If he would have just passed out, that would have been better.
I actually thought he did pass out because I did not see him tap out.
Yeah, no, he tapped.
No, he did. Yeah, he did tap.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
WWE keeps cutting people, so that I have to keep having the same guys fight every week. But it doesn't even matter. No matter how many people they have on their roster, they still go with the rematch week after week after week. So that's an excellent point by Chad.
And that's why we're having a triple threat match for the Raw Women's title.
Yeah, exactly. So we get to see Mason T-Bar get to face off with Mustafa Ali and Mansoor.
Oh.
They
Mace looks
never
like
had a fight.
Rufio. Oh yeah,
Nope.
yeah, I know.
After the breakup, it was just over. Usually, when you break up, you have some type of a feud. Nope, that's how much nobody cared. They didn't even have him do anything.
And I remember when they started their little like rivalry, and you guys were talking about this before. And what did I tell you guys through the comments? Please don't make these guys a tag team. And what did they do? Made them into a freaking tag team.
Yep. Yeah. You're 100% right about that.
It's terrible. One of my notes on here of this match is Mace looks like Rufio from the movie Hook. Whenever he's going into battle, he's got the makeup, the eye makeup. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's what it made me. I was just waiting for a cock-a-doodle-doo.
We had a little Hurt Business reunion.
Oh, when Cedric came out, I literally was just like, yes, they're gonna put the Hurt Business back together, or at least get one of the old members back. And then they came out with this cocky freaking attitude shit, and I was like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah, as much as I would love to see them back and everything like that, I do have to say, they are doing a good job with Bobby. I didn't like how they did the Magic Kofi, but man, they're making him look so dominant.
My biggest problem with that
is a plus.
He double pinned them both. We just saw that at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
You're copying off of yourself.
Yep.
Why? Be original.
Right.
Maybe have him pin one and then the other. Just be different.
Well, that's the problem is whenever the writer doesn't even know the champion's name. So they're going to be like, okay, what do we do? How do we do this?
Well, she's not there anymore, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's part of the problem, though. I mean, it's just, clearly there's probably like a lot of people who probably don't know his name because they have people that are not wrestling fans.
Yeah. So why do my notes keep going back to the beginning? They're making me relive it all over again. Oh, so now we get.
I think Riddle the next thing,
Riddle and John Morrison.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I want to see Riddle do something good, and I want to see Morrison do something good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they shouldn't be fighting each other because one of them is going to lose unless it's just dumb booking. So you have Morrison go over Riddle, which I guess is good for Morrison, but now Riddle's just losing lately. All the momentum he had and the enjoyment I was getting out of his character is gone already. They blew it. It's another NXT star they're ruining.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's kind of like with Cross and Keith Lee. It's they're kind of in a lose-lose situation there.
I mean, it's time for John Morrison to get serious and break away from The Miz and really do what he could do. He's been wasted since he's been back.
Because it's like, what's the point of bringing him back if you're really not going to do anything with him, like at all? Like, okay, you put him with The Miz, that's great. Like, they are very funny. We don't need to relive all the things that we've seen, years past. Like,
100%.
We've seen John Morrison and other companies do amazing things. Let this guy shine.
Yes, 100%. That guy, he could be a top of the line guy that people will turn in to see.
Mm-hmm. He was so close to being a top guy 10 years ago, and they just wasted him. They put him in silly matches, mixed tag matches with Marina Menounos and or was it Snooki? I don't remember. I don't know. I remember one year he was in his mixed tag match. It's just like this is stupid, But
Anthony, it's gotten boring. It hasn't advanced at all. They could have done something better than what they've been doing. Like last week, he was in a 6-man tag. Tonight, he loses, and then AJ Styles comes out and attacks him. I'm hoping that's leading up to Randy Orton coming back.
Exactly.
I would think that's what it's going to be to set up a Mania match, with Riddle and Orton going for the tag team titles.
Yeah. It was just predictable. I mean, you saw, before the match, they all huddled up to come up with their plan. And once I saw Riddle was coming out, I'm like, well, they're just going to ruin Riddle in there, he's going to lose. So.
I agree with you, Mike Belcaster, 100%. That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for John Morrison. Like, he could be an asset on Raw. He could be a star.
Mm-hmm.
Let him do it. Look what he did when he was gone from WWE, when he was in Impact, and he was what was the other, Lucha Underground?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean he was Impact World Champion.
Legit. The guy's legit. The guy is definitely legit. I think that's just a lack of Orton. Once he comes back, things will get back on course. I hope you're right. I don't want you to be wrong.
Where's Orton?
Yeah, but where's Orton?
He's on vacation right now. Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Man, I need to call my boss and get that kind of vacation.
Mike Belcast is right again. They lit the fire behind Riddle, and then they poured a bucket of water on it before he got too hot because Vince is afraid a star is going to get too big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you need a star to get big at this point. Riddle is a guy who the fans like. He's entertaining.
Oh yeah, that was the only. I think he was, besides like them talking about like John Cena and stuff like that. But like when he came out, the crowd got up and got into it and was loving it. And then when everybody else came out, there was like, okay, we're gonna go back sitting down. We're gonna chill out.
Yeah. Let's really hope that next week Orton's back and it kicks off Riddle again because that was interesting. So now next was the thing. If you want to watch the most interesting thing on Raw, you've got to watch Reggie fly into the ring.
Oh my God!
Oh, he did Sin Cara.
I can't even believe that I'm saying that, but that was amazing. Like
it was, but I can't do a backflip, admittedly, but.
Can you try?
He was like going for it too many times, and he couldn't. He kind of I ended up breaking my neck.
But I'll do that before the wedding.
He was flopping.
But people didn't know what to do with this match. Like, first of all, you have R-Truth mic'd up. He had the little headset, so you can't pipe the noise too much because you can still hear from his mic, and people were booing throughout the match. And they were trying to pipe the noise, and you can still hear the boos.
Yeah, it's time to end the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, it's a novelty piece to allow all these media people, your Peter Rosenbergs, your whoever, NASCAR guys, Fox Sports guys, whoever else to get a chance to be champion. But it's just. Yeah, it's just terrible. It's terrible. It's embarrassing.
Well, R-Truth is always brilliant on a mic.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a good mic talker.
He's entertaining. He always has been.
Yeah.
So now we go to our main event. It's Nikki A.S.H versus Charlotte. And okay, this is the thing.
Little Kevin Hart.
Since when are championship contender matches versus the champion? They started this a couple of weeks ago. It makes zero sense. None. Like, who came up with that idea? Is a better way of saying non-title match?
Well, to be fair, AEW has done that too.
No, but they didn't do it against the champion.
Exactly. Yes, they have. They actually have.
Really?
They did that with the Young Bucks a couple weeks back. They did with the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Penta. They call them eliminator matches. And so they have done that, So that's the first thing that hit my mind whenever I'm like, okay, These are basically like eliminator matches.
But I thought that match with Eddie Kingston and the Young Bucks, like if Eddie Kingston would have won, they would have got a title shot.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I thought I thought that's kind of what happened with Damian Priest and Sheamus. So now Damian Priest gets a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
So what a championship contender match? Does that just mean now you can contend and fight somebody else to get it? Like, if they said a championship contender match and you win gets you a match against the champions, that would make a little more sense. But they don't even specify that.
Yeah, they do need to specify what that means. I agree.
Exactly, Mike Belcaster. AEW said it. They explained
it definitely makes sense.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
And it made sense.
Yeah,
so
right.
we get the match, and right now, Nikki A.S.H is one of the most entertaining things on Raw.
Oh, yeah.
And
I agree.
Good for her. I'm happy for her. But, she should be entertaining, but there should be way more things that we're looking forward to seeing on a show. And then when the main event started so early, I'm like, this is going to end early. Is Becky coming back tonight?
That's what I thought.
And then Charlotte gets on the mic. I'm like, okay, this is going to be Becky, and nothing. So I don't think Becky. We're probably not going to see her to the earliest. Maybe the night after SummerSlam.
I think they're going to leave her either at SummerSlam itself or like the night after SummerSlam.
I would bet more the night after.
Well, I mean, so last week I was thinking maybe she should come out and challenge Bianca, but Bianca and Carmella had their match at Rolling Loud last week.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this week we'll see something because we don't know who Bianca's opponent is. I don't think Becky is coming back to Raw. I think if she does come back, she's coming back to SmackDown.
Well, you're probably right.
Gotta be with the hubby
over on SmackDown.
Hubby's over there.
Somebody gotta watch the baby.
That's what Chad said. Nikki is entertaining and she has a hand in her character. Funny how that works. 100%. When you're allowed to have input and you believe in your character.
They did not care. They did not care damn about wrestling.
Wait, Mike Bastard, did you actually watch the show tonight? I'm actually shocked over here.
No, I think he's talking about the music crowd last week when Carmella and Bianca Belair wrestled. Nobody gave a shit about that at all. Like she came out and everybody just looked at her and was like, "Who is this?"
They weren't there for wrestling.
No, they were all drunk and they all wanted to just listen to music and dance around.
They, I think Mike Balcaster is watching Raw so that he can watch the Raw recap, baby.
No, he'd rather watch us because he's more entertaining.
You know what? You know what's funny? I feel like Mike is taking my spot tonight because I normally am the one.
You're the one commenting.
I'm always commenting, so now I'm on here and Mike's out there. Well, Mike, we'll switch next week. Hopefully, they'll get you on here, and I'll go back to the comments.
Hey, I got Mike to watch SmackDown, the first live episode, so
there you go.
And it's just funny. I've said this like a broken record. How SmackDown is by the same exact people, the same creators, and it resembles a wrestling show. It's so much better than Raw right now. Like, why do they not see what trash they're putting out there week after week after week?
Yeah, I mean,
thank you, Mike.
the SmackDown is a good show. It really is.
Well, you have Fox breathing down your neck as far as like they want good content because they're throwing out all this stuff, so they can't have something just sitting there boring as shit.
I think
you're right, Anthony.
Yeah, well, I think they only use Monday Night Raw as a vehicle to get people to watch Kristen Knows Best. So,
well, isn't it how it started? Like originally, this is probably before your guys' time, since you're younger than me. But it was Well, La Femme Nikita was always following Raw.
Yeah, and Silk Stockings.
That was the one I was. Silk Stockings was the other one. I couldn't think of it. Remember those days? They would be commercials through the whole show. Make sure you turn into Silk Stockings. My wife.
There will be a countdown. There will be a countdown at the end of every Raw.
Pacific Blue was another one.
Yep.
Yep. So funny. So okay. I mean, let's do our famous. Let's rate it. How many stars we give the show tonight? We'll start with you, J-Bone. You're leading off.
Let's see. I gave I think it was 1.5 last week. I'm gonna go with 2. 2 stars.
All right. What do you think, Kenny? How many stars are you giving the show tonight?
I'll give it 3.
3?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3. The reason why I give it 3, I do like Nikki's
little. Sleeping during.
No, come on. most parts, not all. Almost got me as far as just his big man, appearance, and the little Alexa Bliss moment that was pretty cool too. Other than that, I mean, Raw was freaking boring as shit though. But I still give it a 3.
I'm gonna give it 2, only because it was better than last week, and I do like Nikki, and at least I got to rest during it.
Yeah. And it allowed me to catch up to being the elite.
Not 5 stars.
No, it's a recap.
Give the recap 5 stars.
Did you see my comment? Did you, Anthony, about him borrowing Vince McMahon's suit from the 80s?
He said 2 stars from me simply for Byron's suit.
I mean, it was one of the highlights. I instantly got an 80s flashback to him standing there with Jesse Ventura.
So. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was better than last week. I just feel so disappointed because about a month ago, they had a couple of back-to-back episodes where things seemed like they were improving. When they started with the qualifying matches for Money in the Bank, it's like, wow, they're starting to book it a little different. And 3 weeks later, it went back into the same garbage pattern. And that's disappointing because we're fans and we want the show to be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is not.
Oh, whatever! Damn
it! Of course you would, Nicole. No bias there. You have the same last name.
No arguing in the house.
But thank you all for tuning in tonight. Kenny, why don't you plug yourself? Tell everybody where they can find your podcast, all your great interviews you've had lately. Tell the people.
So you can find the Call Up podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Play. You can find me on Instagram at the same lettering. It's DACALLUP. I do interviews every Monday and Thursdays. Just like to talk to interesting people like the guys here. So, if you have an interesting story, by all means, hit me up. Let's talk.
J-Bone.
You can find me. You can find me at Coming Down the Aisle on Instagram and on down_aisle because that's too long for Twitter. And so we went with the down_aisle. And you can find podcasts every Wednesday night, about an hour after AEW, and we'll break down all of the wrestling news for this week. And this week we have Figure Kingdom on. We're going to watch Austin versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. It was great.
Great match.
Good shit, pal.
All right, guys. Make sure you tune in this Friday for Fig Friday, episode number 2, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you do, you will have a chance to win these two.
Ooh.
Just watch last week's show. Find out how you could win these two. That's all I'm saying, Go to the turnbuckletavern.com for all of our links. What are you going to say?
So not too many shows are giving away good prizes like that. So definitely tune in.
Those are some pretty good prizes. So some incentive to watch. And we're finalizing. What happened here? Hold on. My phone.
He got some breaking news.
Something weird is going on here.
Well, what are we finalizing? Yeah, we're good.
We're finalizing a special guest. I'm not going to ruin it until it's final, but let me tell you, when we get this guest, which I believe we will, you'll want to watch. You'll want to watch. I'm telling you, it's going to put us on the chart for Wrestling Figs shows.
Oh, sweet!
Tune in. It'll be a great show.
Awesome.
All of our other links are Instagram and our Twitter. Go to the turnbuckletavern.com. We've got our links there. We're working on our website. We're working on big things. Put the notification button on. We were live earlier today. In case you missed it, go back and check it out. We were talking about Tony Khan saying that WWE is not a wrestling company. We went over that. We gave our thoughts on that. Even though it came out in April. Well, that was obvious watching Raw tonight. But, check out everything. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week, guys. Take care. Love, peace, and wrestling.